wouldn't normally measure these, but the fact that they're all different shapes and sizes, even though they all say they're a gallon, the shape makes it a little different, because even though this is a water jug, it's still different than the milk jug. And the handle location is different also. So basically they want you to measure up 4 inches. And for a milk jug, that works. It cuts right at that handle. But 4 inches on these square Smart Water bottles is a little bit lower. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not at this tip, it's right here. So if you line it up, 4 is right there. So I just went up a little bit to get to where that handle is. That's fine and dandy for those. Then we have these vinegar bottles. They're also 1 gallon, but they're round, and a cylinder I should say, and their handle is far shorter. It doesn't come all the way down. So I measured 5 inches for these guys, and I'll just know not to put the soil all the way to the top. I'll put the soil here because it still needs room to grow. But I just didn't want to cut way up here by this handle. I don't know, I just didn't think that looked right. And then this is another vinegar bottle, and it's different also. So it's kind of important to make sure you measure so that you can have at least 4 inches. I did these all at 5, just so that I could have less up at the top and more at the bottom for soil retention. I'm gonna finish cutting these, and then we'll start filling them up. No, I'm not gonna fill them up first. I'm gonna decide what I want in them so that I know what labels to write out, because I want to write my labels out first, and I want to show you how to do that also. My labels will be pretty much waterproof because I'm just going to use a method that I will link below that I always like to utilize stuff from my recycle bin for most everything actually, but for gardening especially, I love to recycle. The soil that I picked was the one that said garden soil and was organic. It's garden, just, I don't know, something. I think it said something about Garden Smart. I'll show you the label in a minute. I just want to finish getting these cut. Alright, so I didn't show myself doing the holes, but I melted them in with my soldering gun. This one is just for plastic and stuff because it stinks. Make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area because it really smells bad. I've got my array of seeds that I've collected from my yard. A lot of native plants, coneflowers. I don't know why I have that bell pepper in there. Some red impatiens, some white impatiens from my mom's. Some dandelion. Now these go to someone else. Someone down in a group that I am in wanted dandelion seeds, so I got those to send off. Got geraniums, fountain grass, African daisy, 3 different types of echinaceas. They're really pretty. If I get a chance, I'll try to put the pictures up on the screen, but it's kind of difficult when I edit from the camcorder. That program that I use doesn't have all the great features like the program that I use from my phone. I like to make sure that for these that you're using one of the wider parts as the hinge side. That way, I'll show you on this one. When you open it, it has a lot more to hold on to. Not to mention this will be the front, so to speak, so you can put your label on the back, and it just works out better in my mind. Do it however you want, but you know what I'm saying? Do what works best for you. This is what works best for me. All right, there we go. I didn't invest in a garden marker yet. I just have Sharpies, and from what I've been told, the Sharpies work better on duct tape. So I just ran over and got white duct tape from the Dollar Tree, and I got the clear tape to seal the jugs back up after they get planted. So just so you know that I am using duct tape to label them, and I will probably put the labels back here underneath the handle. I'll get them all written out, and then I'll put them back here, since this is the back, and all the sun will come this way. It'll help keep them from fading, but I also have markers that I will put on the inside just in case anything happens. Just wanted to let you know that. This is why I don't like to use it on the dispenser, because it likes to curl up in there. I just end up wasting tape. Jeez. If you're worried about it holding together, you can always take a couple of small pieces and just do like that at first, just to hold it in its place. Excuse me. And then wrap the whole thing with the tape. That way it's not moving on you at all. Because, as you can see, most of these are curved. So they don't like to just cooperate. I'd rather just work with a long piece of tape. I'm better with it like that than having to wrestle around with the dispenser. See, that was way easier to me than trying to wrap that tape around there. And I've got a leak going on here. Throw some paper towels down. Okay. I recycle my paper towels. If I wash my hands and wipe them off, I usually throw the paper towels in this container. It's sitting on the counter by the sink, and then when there's a spill or something on the floor, I just grab them and wipe it up. That way I'm not using a brand new paper towel for a dirty issue when these are gently used. And sometimes I'll even take them after that and throw them in the compost. It just depends on my mood. Okay, so that one's ready. And I like to just lift it up a little bit to see if it's holding, and it's holding. So I know that that one's good to go. It doesn't matter if you can do two smaller pieces of tape if you want, if you're more comfortable with that. You know, especially when it's the clear tape. It doesn't matter because it's, you know, it's clear. You can see through it no matter how many layers of tape you put on there. The key thing is to just make sure it's sealed so that that condensation can start happening inside on those warmer days. And that's it. Now I'm just going to finish the rest of them and take them out. I apologize for the light. It's just my kitchen is not the brightest place. It's an old house. In case you guys ever forget why a coneflower is called a coneflower, let me change this angle because it's just way too dark. There. The flower, the head is actual cone shaped. I didn't do this that day because that I collected them. It was so windy, so I just clipped off a couple and let some of them stay out there so they could just seed over naturally. But I just clipped the head and threw them in the envelope, labeled them, and went on to the next. That was the quickest way to get anything done when it was as windy as it was that day. It seems like we've had a lot of wind this season, or this past year. Of course, you guys know we had the derecho storm that went through and wiped out a lot of Iowa. I fared pretty decent. I just had some window damage. My tree in the front, my linden, still holding up and doing well, thank goodness. Now back to filling up these jugs and getting them outside. I don't bury them because in nature, when a plant drops its seed and it's basically just right there on the ground. Now with the course of rain and snow and whatever, they do get pushed down a little bit, but they don't ever get completely covered with soil. And that's probably one of the reasons, sorry, my tape dispenser's so loud, that a lot of people don't have success with growing from seed some of these natives. They want to try to plant them. And in all actuality, all seeds germinate because they just grow where they land in nature. So just let them land in the soil. I love these vinegar jugs. They're so easy to tape up. They're stronger, they hold their shape better, and since they're round, they tape up so much easier. Look at that. That's like it wasn't even disturbed or anything. Perfect. So if you get a chance, just use vinegar jugs instead of milk jugs. These are flimsy and odd shape. Some of them have these little dents in, so when I carry to tape that, that's going to be fun. The other ones that are pretty good are these Smart Waters, these squarish water bottles, water jugs from, I don't know, who makes Smart Water? Walgreens? Target? I'm not even sure where I got these. I've had them for so long. But anyway, that's the end of that. I'm going to take them outside. was going to put the bottles there, but I decided I don't want them that close to the house. So I put them out on that table. There's room for the other pop bottles or soda bottles, whatever you call them. And they'll get sun, cool sun there all day, plus they have the shed to block any wind from the north.